think if he move up and he beat somebody like Dustin Poirier or Charles Oliveira, he's next on the line. Why not? Because there is nobody.
So I know that I can do with him whatever I want to do because I know that I'm much better than him. Someone could submit him. I will be the first one to submit him. And
any specific submission?
Now I heard some love from some idiots, but it's gonna happen.
You know, Ilia Topuria is talking about coming to 155, and you're like, I'm tired of these little people coming up to fight me.
That makes sense. Give the chance third time from the same guy. Okay, I beat the Volkanovski twice. People still say you're a bit small guy.
Yeah.
He's not your weight division. If I beat Topuria, it's gonna be the same. Everybody gonna talk same.
UFC featherweight champion Ilia Topuria wants to move up to the lightweight division to challenge the champion Islam Makhachev, who's currently the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. The fans believe that if this fight happens, then it will be the biggest fight of 2025. Ilia Topuria has lost interest in fighting Alexander Volkanovski for a rematch as the undefeated featherweight champion is now looking forward to facing Islam Makhachev in the lightweight division. Topuria is ready to move up and become a double champion. Ilia Topuria said, "I'm on the verge of making some decisions, and I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm closer to making a fight with Islam Makhachev. That's what interests me the most." Topuria wants to get rewarded for his fights, and that's why he wants to face Islam. He knows that he won't get any benefit from fighting Volkanovski, and beating Islam will give him the lightweight championship belt and most importantly the honor of becoming a double champion in UFC. Topuria explained his plans. "My ideal rival needs to have something that has me fighting for something. I need to conquer something. I need something to motivate me. Do a rematch with Volkanovski for what? I already beat him. Oh, is that I want another chance for, okay, you're better than me, that's it." So, to move up to the lightweight division, Topuria has to increase his weight to 155 pounds. The Georgian fighter is ready to do everything as he wants to build his own legacy by claiming his second belt. Ilia Topuria added, "Getting a second title and fighting for something that builds your legacy, that's something I've set for myself." Meanwhile, Islam Makhachev has so far shown no interest in fighting Ilia Topuria. He has never accepted this call-out as the lightweight champion seems to be fed up with giving continuous chances to fighters from lower weight classes. Recently, during an interview with Adin Ross, the Dagestani fighter responded to the rumors about his fight with Topuria. He said that he didn't see any reward in fighting against the featherweight champion. However, Islam said that if the fans and Dana White want to see us fight, then he is ready for that as well.
You know, everybody, like a lot of people ask me to fight Ilia. What do you think? You know, not makes sense. I fought with Ilia for what? Not belt, nothing, you know. Money, I have money, I don't need money. And I already fight with some of the guys who come from the small division, you know. And, but I'm not saying no. If I clean my division, if people want, if Dana want, why not? One day,
yeah,
I can do this.
Yeah.
Easy.
The featherweight fighter Ilia Topuria has made his intentions clear that he wants to move up and fight against the champ Islam Makhachev. Topuria has put his wish in front of Dana White as he thinks that the UFC officials know when and how to make this fight possible, and he would be waiting for that opportunity.
We can't wait to see that. You mentioned moving up to 155. Is that the plan for your immediate future? Because there's been a bit of discussion around you potentially fighting Islam Makhachev.
This is something that I want to do. The UFC knows that, but at the end of the day, this is something that the UFC decides, you know, because they know how to run the business, they know how to do it, they have a lot of experience. So if they tell me that they want me to keep defending the belt in the 145 division, maybe I will do that. But if they let me go up in 155, I will do that also. Really very glad.
Ilia Topuria is confident that he can beat Islam Makhachev and become a two-time champion. He said that Islam is the best fighter for people, but Topuria believes in himself and is ready to get the title away from the lightweight champion. The Georgian star feels he has the ability and skills required to beat Islam Makhachev.
What I want to do is to move up to the 155 because I know by fact that I can become a two-weight world champion, because Islam, he's a great fighter. He's the #1 pound for pound for the people, for me. It's me, myself. I'm the best fighter in the world. So I know that I can do with him whatever I want to do because I know that I'm much better than him.
Moreover, Ilia Topuria is highly confident that he will be the first fighter to submit Islam Makhachev. He believes that he will prove all his haters wrong and fulfill his words whenever he gets the opportunity to fight Islam Makhachev.
In a hypothetical fight against Islam, how do you see that fight going? If it goes to the ground, do you feel confident that you could out-grapple him, or would you try to keep it standing? And
my mindset is always the same. I'm always looking to achieve things that no one could. So someone could submit him, I will be the first one to submit him. And
any specific submission?
Now I heard some love from some idiot, but it's gonna happen.
Just like Topuria, Islam Makhachev also wants to move up to the welterweight division and become a double champion. However, the biggest problem for the lightweight champion is that his friend Belal Muhammad is already the champion in that division. During an interview with Demetrius Johnson, Islam Makhachev explained this whole scene and also revealed his future plans.
If I go up, takes a second belt, this is a legacy.
But, you know, one of your friends, you guys are teammates, you and Belal.
Honestly, Bilal killed my plan, you know.
Yeah.
We become like close friend. We have same manager. Nobody would know what's gonna be in the future, you know. I just have same dream.
Yeah.
I want to be double champ. I want to be like you know. Champ. How many? 11 times defend your belt.
Meanwhile, the fans believes that both are great fighters and have recently produced dominant results in their division. Ilia is coming off back-to-back knockouts of Max and Volkanovski. On the other hand, Islam Makhachev registered a comfortable victory by submitting Renato Moicano at UFC 311. He defended his title for the record 4th time. The MMA pros have also predicted this potential matchup between these two skilled fighters. Recently, Khabib Nurmagomedov reacted to the rumors of a fight between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. The former UFC champion said that Islam could fight against Topuria if he moves up and beats the top contenders like Dustin Poirier and Charles Oliveira.
Ilia Topuria. I like what Ilia Topuria is doing. I really do. I like the fact that he's saying, you know what, I want to go up to 155 pounds, fight the #1 contender. If he wins, and then if he wins that, then he fights Islam. I think that's good, brother. Look, listen, Ilia Topuria knocked out 2 first ballot Hall of Famers. You know what I'm saying? Volkanovski and Max Holloway. Those guys are amongst the greatest featherweights of all time. I think he deserves.
I think if he move up and he beat somebody like Dustin Poirier or Charles Oliveira, he's next on the line. Why not? Because there is nobody.
Moreover, Khabib made it clear that Topuria won't get the opportunity to face the champion Islam Makhachev until he beats some other strong fighters in the division. He feels that Islam has already given chances to fighters from lower weight classes like Volkanovski, and now it is his right and opportunity to move up and get his second belt.
You don't think right now Ilia deserves a shot at 155 pounds?
Without fighting in 155? Without? No, I don't agree. Because Islam already give chance, and people talk bad about like, oh, he fight 2 times with Volkanovski, but the UFC push this fight, and this fight was good in first fight, but why Islam have to give 3 times chance for 145 champion? Why?
Khabib thinks that it is unfair to Islam Makhachev to stop him from moving up and ask him to compete against the top fighter from the lower weight classes. The former UFC champion wants Topuria to face other compatible fighters from the lightweight division. However, Khabib also admitted that he believes Ilia Topuria can defeat Charles Oliveira.
It's not fair for 155 pounds.
Right,
But if he move up and he beat somebody like Charles Oliveira, of course.
Yeah.
And I like that. And I think, you know what I think?
Yeah.
I think he can beat him.
Yeah.
I think he can beat him.
I like Charles, but I think so too.
No, I think Ilya can beat him.
Additionally, after the recent performance of both fighters, Michael Bisping said that he would love to see this fight between Topuria and Islam happen. Although the former UFC champion rates the Dagestani fighter above, he thinks Topuria's well-rounded skill set and pressure could make it an interesting encounter. Michael Bisping told Submission Radio, "That's an incredible fight, Ilya Topuria. What he's been able to do, what he's achieved in such a short space. So impressed. The same with Islam. Islam is incredible. Nobody can sit here and criticize Islam. The fight style that he has, the way that he's able to use his wrestling to such effectiveness. The striking is always improving and catching up." Michael Bisping has some great thoughts about Islam Makhachev, and he knows what the lightweight champion is capable of doing. Meanwhile, the UFC Hall of Famer also acknowledges Ilya Topuria's remarkable strength and skill set. He thinks that only Ilya Topuria can have the talent to beat a guy like Islam who is bigger than him. Bisping praised the recent performance of Topuria, who is knocking out his opponents for fun. Michael Bisping further added, "But on the flip side, Ilya is a smaller guy though, so you take two guys with great skill sets. The bigger guy is always going to win. But if anyone could make that happen, it's Ilya Topuria. The man said what he's going to do right from the beginning and changed his bio to champion of the world. He has knocked out Volkanovski. He's knocked out Max Holloway. He's knocking out everybody, and apparently he's even better at wrestling than he is at boxing." The lightweight fighter Michael Chandler shared his thoughts on this potential matchup between Islam Makhachev and Ilya Topuria. The American fighter highly rates Ilya Topuria, and he believes that the featherweight champion has the skills to beat the lightweight champion. Although Chandler backs Topuria as a big challenge for Makhachev, he also admits that if the fight goes to the final rounds, then Islam will easily defeat Topuria because of his weight.
If Islam and Ilya Topuria go at it, who do you think wins?
Ilya Topuria may be one of my favorite guys to watch stylistically. How he doesn't force things, not getting emotional, not pushing too hard, also not taking his foot off the gas. He's just right there in the middle until he lands the big knockout punch. So I think he could catch Islam, but if that fight goes anything past 15 minutes, I think Islam beats him handedly just because Islam is a large 155er, and I don't think Ilya is that big.
Henry Cejudo and Kamaru Usman have contrasting views on the potential fight between Topuria and Islam. Kamaru Usman believes that if the heavyweight title unification fight between champion Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall happens, the allure of Jon Jones's unbeaten record would make it the biggest fight. However, Henry Cejudo doesn't agree, as he thinks the UFC featherweight champion Ilya Topuria's fight against the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world would be more exciting. Henry Cejudo said on his Pound for Pound podcast with Kamaru Usman, "I personally believe that Makhachev versus Topuria could potentially be bigger than Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall. Competitively, of course, man. It's not just that. It's the simple fact that Ilya Topuria has a chance to become champ. According to Henry, Jon Jones is a clear GOAT in the heavyweight division, and there is no doubt about that. However, Cejudo thinks that if Ilya beats Islam, then it will completely turn the rankings, as the Dagestani is the current best pound-for-pound fighter in the world." Henry Cejudo added, "The heavyweight division, we'll just know who's the real undisputed champion. But in this position, if Ilya does win, that puts him in a category of, fuck, you beat the former pound-for-pound in Volkanovski. You're beating the current pound-for-pound in a guy like Islam Makhachev. Give him his flowers." The fans think that this would be a close fight, as both are outstanding fighters. Ilya Topuria might be a bit smaller than Makhachev, but his confidence is sky high. Topuria has been in great touch, as he has defeated two of the best fighters of his division in recent times. The Georgian fighter has knocked out both Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway. Topuria wants to fight the lightweight champion, and the former opponent of Islam, Dustin Poirier, has weighed in on this potential encounter. He believes that if the Georgian fighter wants to win, then he has to find a way to tackle the takedowns of the Dagestani fighter. While Poirier believes Topuria is a good fighter, he also has some concerns over the weight difference between the two fighters. Dustin Poirier said, "If Topuria can stop the takedowns, I think his boxing is bigger than Islam's. He's a bigger puncher. Islam's technique is getting a lot better on the feet. He's crafty and elusive when I fought him. He fought at a weird range, but I think the size difference is just too much, I believe." Meanwhile, Robert Whittaker predicted that Islam is a great fighter, and with his relentless power and astonishing grappling skills, he can take down anybody in the cage. Robert feels Islam is a very tough opponent, and the only way Topuria can beat Islam is if the lightweight champion moves down to the featherweight division to fight Ilya Topuria.
How do you think Ilya does against the likes of Islam Makhachev?
I don't know what he looks like as a lightweight. And lightweight, Islam's so strong and powerful, and his boxing and kickboxing is like really top notch.
This is not boxing, this is MMA, man.
It's come a long way since we first saw him land. If Makhachev went down to fight Topuria, Topuria beats him, I think.
Furthermore, the former UFC featherweight champion Max Holloway believes it is hard to pick any other fighter against Islam Makhachev. He acknowledges the remarkable striking and wrestling skills of the Dagestani fighter and thinks that it won't be easy for Topuria to compete against a fighter like Islam Makhachev, who has been dominating the lightweight division from the last few years. Max Holloway stated, "It's hard to go against Islam, you know it's hard to go against him. His fighting style is a tough one, you know. He likes wrestling, he likes striking, now he is falling in love with his striking, so I mean it's hard to beat against Islam." So Ilya is undefeated so far in both MMA and UFC, while Islam Makhachev has lost only a single fight in his professional career. Well, it would be interesting to see who wins this fight. This is all we have from today's video. Hopefully you have liked it. We would love to hear your thoughts about this potential matchup between Islam and Topuria in the comments section. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get instant notifications about our latest videos.